AI has genuinely revolutionized the world around us. To place this in context, in 2023, an individual named Zyron stopped editing his own videos. Not because he abandoned YouTube, but because his content was now entirely automated, generated, edited, voiced, and scheduled by artificial intelligence. He was not solitary in this. Thousands of creators quietly did the same, substituting freelancers and in-house teams with algorithms. What once required a full production team now operated on prompts and scripts. This shift not only saved time, it also dissolved the boundaries between real and artificial, creator and tool, storyteller and machine. The era marked by the spoils of fake AI didn't commence in the lab, but rather on social networks. AI-generated reality at scale was not to come from a research facility but from an influencer, a creator. In early 2021, an influencer posted what appeared to be a podcast bite on their TikTok account. Two men discussing relationships, masculinity, and hustle culture. It went viral. The problem? These men didn't exist. Their faces had been generated by AI, and the same went for their voices. Even their personalities were fragments of code programmed to trigger maximum engagement. Most of the viewers didn't recognize the result was fake. When it became remarkable that the depicted personas were not real, it no longer mattered. The comments were filled speculating real or not, the man is spitting facts. It is the consequence of encoding resonance in a simulacra. The truth becomes an irrelevant technicality. This was meant to be a turning point. Media companies and governments were experimenting with their own AI-generated avatars. One of the first was from Kuwait. Her name was Feda and she didn't look like the hyper-realistic Sims characters, her features simpler. She read the news in fluent Arabic. China's state media had introduced AI anchors years earlier. In the world's general indifference, Europe's first adapt would slip through virtually unnoticed. In the West, the process began more quietly. AI trained to read, eventually all types of texts. By the time the English-language version accidentally aired after a glitch in the scheduled reporting, the public was already desensitized. The emotionless AI cadence that narrated quarterlies had been practiced through other means. AI voiceovers were already common in sports recaps, and eventually in corporate earnings, obituaries, and even the majority of explainers. AI-generated explainer videos, recasts of main topics, and the subsequent rendition of explanations would become the background noise of the web. And even that was born out of something different. A startup in London that trained a network to imitate human behavior. The targeted market, influencers. It mimicked their voice and face to perfection, but also their texting style and frequent interlocutory phrases. The AI would not only schedule cameos and chat with the fans, it was also competent enough to carry out a petty fight if necessary. The consequences were as such. The task of interacting with the creator had been delegated to an infinite scaling clone of them. For the former group, it was the answer to juggling business and growth while still engaging with the community. For the latter, however, the line had blurred between entertainment and reality. Some spoke of their conversations with the AI in a tone of voice usually reserved for other areas, admitting they talked to the AI version more than they talked to other, real people. Brands took notes. In 2025, a luxury fashion house discreetly conducted a month-long ad campaign that employed models created by artificial intelligence. There was not a single human face on screen, and not a single customer noticed. The AI models didn't need makeup, didn't get tired, and didn't demand pay. For corporations, it was efficient. For real models and photographers, it was a wake-up call. Entire creative industries now had competition that didn't eat, sleep, or age. In politics, AI entered the chat with deepfakes. At first, it was used to mock. Fake Biden, fake Trump, satire. But it didn't stay funny for long. A clip emerged in 2024 of a candidate making a racist comment. It spread like wildfire, except it was fake. Fully fabricated, lip-synced, and AI-voiced. The damage was done before fact-checkers could respond. Elections started to hinge on people's ability to spot manipulation, and most couldn't. Trust in video as proof eroded. The age-old phrase, "I saw it with my own eyes," stopped meaning anything. But the most unsettling shift came from AI's subtle integration into everyday reality. Smart glasses released by several tech giants began feeding users real-time overlays. Who someone is, what they do, their online following, even potential conversation starters. Some people found it helpful. Others called it surveillance dressed as convenience. Either way, it was here, a layer of reality curated by machines, filtered through data, and projected straight onto the world. Schools changed too. In places like California and Seoul, kids started using AI helpers made just for how they learn. Good for tests. Bad for real teachers, who got replaced in some classes. A teacher said to a news outlet, "It's tough to beat a helper that knows every weak spot a kid has and never sleeps." The twist? That saying was made into an AI film, with her face, without asking her. Music was hit too. An AI made Drake and The Weeknd song called "Heart on My Sleeve" tricked many in 2023. Even when they pulled it off the net, fans wanted more. Music companies saw the chance. Endless artists, never-ending music, no one gets tired. By 2025, lots of big songs were all made by AI, with fake voices, words, and tunes. They topped charts. They made cash. And they led to big fights about who owns what when no person made it. The worst part? It was all out in the open. It went down right before our eyes. Bit by bit, then all at once. And when folks tried to fix things, it was too late. Now, we live in a time where you can't be sure if the person you're talking to is real. Where voices can be copied, faces made up, and whole lives can seem real but aren't. There's no line now between what's real and what's not. It's just gone. And maybe the oddest thing is how normal all this feels. Most just scroll by AI stuff every day without a second look. They use AI tools. Talk to AI chats. See AI in movies. It's not wild anymore, it's just easy. That's how big changes happen. Not with a big bang, but just like that. So, the big thing now isn't if AI is taking over. It already is. The big thing now is, what's left that's truly human? And if we're losing that, would we be able to even spot AI? Subscribe for more deep dives into the world.